Drex versus Indominus Rex. Now, I'm honestly surprised as to how this is a debate. Now, this will be more of a my opinion video. I'm gonna go like really deep into things and be like quite strict with my evidence. At least I'll try to be strict with my evidence, because as much as I respect people's opinions, I never really understood why people thought Drex could beat Indominus in a fight. And this will be more based off what these two dinosaurs have been capable of doing, which is already a disadvantage for the Drex, because they only got like 3 minutes of screen time and they didn't fight anything. Like, they only have two like really notable feats and also some advantages, but this will mostly be covering how I never understood why the Drex could beat Indominus in a fight. And if you're a fan of these debate videos, well, I might be doing more of them, we'll see. But as of currently, the only other one I really have is one where I cover why Buck and Doe would absolutely destroy the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, so you can check that out too if you want. I've already made an edit of comparing these two with evidence as well, so although it might feel pointless to do it again, I thought I'd make long form out of it as well. When I mention stuff Indominus has been capable of doing, and this goes to the Indominus only, if I mention some stuff Indominus was capable of doing, not all of it might be on screen, just because I'm quite a coward when it comes to making my content, and I'm quite scared of copyright. So all the Indominus clips you can see in this video are from scene packs, which are usable for videos, so yeah, we'll be fine. Anyways, let's just get into the video. Strength. Yeah, Indominus takes this and it's not even close. I wouldn't be lying when I say I kind of feel like the reason people think Drex is stronger is, and if this is not the reason, that's fine, and I still respect people's opinions, like I said, but the reason I think some people think Drex is stronger than Indominus is simply just because of how he looks. Like, he looks bigger, he's got bulkier arms, but just because someone looks bigger and all that, it does not mean they are the stronger opponent. I like to base strength off feats. But you know what, before we get into the Indominus' crazy strength, we'll just cover the couple things that the Drex did do that is pretty strong. But even then, I wouldn't really say it's Drex's fault, because his screen time was so low that he didn't get to do anything, and he basically has no fighting feats on destroying other dinosaurs in a fight, unlike the I-Rex, So, the Drex, yeah, the helicopter feat was quite impressive for the Drex. He just casually thrashed it about everywhere like a Kentucky Fried Chicken. But the thing is, as strong as this is probably the best thing bro's done. But as strong as this is, the Indominus just like absolutely destroys in strength later. The Drex also casually managed to lift around 2,000 to 4,000 pounds of weight with that helicopter, because that's what I'd say a helicopter usually tends to weigh around. But yeah, that's still quite insane, but not as insane as the Indom later. Even if this is a type of helicopter that has a stronger weight, it still doesn't change anything, because, well, the Indominus does better later on. But sticking to the Drex, he also clearly has the strength to go on two legs. I'd say this is quite strong, like he has good balance. And he also just casually grabs the helicopter and easily thrashes it about everywhere. He also has a pretty good throwing distance, which I'd say is quite good. Also, he destroys a car and kills a guy. The best info is I'm pretty sure the car he smashed was around 2.7 metric tons, which is pretty decent, but once again, nothing compared to what we get later with Indominus. Also, cars that go at insane speed, if that hits something like a house or a tree, that would do some destruction. Although this car clearly wasn't going at max speed, the Drex still being able to react to it so easily and also crushing it with his hand is still quite impressive. Like, the window in the front got completely wrecked. So I'd say that's quite impressive. Sadly, that's pretty much it for the Drex. Sorry, bro. First of all, let's just talk about the fact Indominus killed 6 apatosaurs. 6 is insane. Like, trust me, guys, that is all the apatosauruses in total, way more than the helicopter and the car combined. And technically weight is involved in this, because the Indominus, when we see the apatosaurs dead, unless they just collapse to the ground, it's most likely possible that the Indominus actually literally just knocked them onto the ground somehow. Which is generally crazy, because if you're adding all 6 together, and the Indom most likely wouldn't have been tired, that would have came with an insane weight strength result. The weight of an Apatosaurus is 44,000. If you add all 6 of the ones that Indominus killed together, that is 264 million pounds in total. Now, I get that some of you may not agree with this, but I genuinely count this as an extremely impressive strength feat. Like, I get that she attacked one by one, but that is still a heavy amount of weight in total, and she clearly had no problem ragdolling it about everywhere. Also, in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, she also clearly, like, in the scene where she's trying to kill, like, the human characters, they escape. I don't know what they're called, like, those. Are they called cable cars? I'm pretty sure they are, yeah. They escape with cable cars, but during that entire scene, the Indominus Rex is, like, bending the building that the people were on, like, dangling the building a bit. So that's some crazy arm strength. So Indominus still has some incredibly strong arms, speaking that was the majority of the strength that was used from the D-Rex. Like, without the D-Rex's arms, he'd basically have no strength feats to compare. Also, another crazy thing, a Brachiosaurus, which is a sauropod that's even bigger than an Apatosaur, also got easily destroyed by the Indominus. In Camp Cretaceous Season 1, there is a scene where the Brachiosaurus is seen falling onto the ground within about 2-3 seconds from the Indominus' attack. So, the Indominus does some pretty serious damage. Also, another thing is the fact that the Indominus casually flips an Ankylosaurus over. A singular Ankylosaurus weighs 6 tons. Indominus also nearly kills a T-Rex, and I'd consider the Rexy T-Rex in Jurassic World to be considered her in her prime, so the absolute strongest she's ever been. Like, she easily knocked Rexy over, which is quite insane. Indominus wins round 1. Oh yeah, the D-Rex, he's like fastest dinosaur ever, you know? Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not talking about this one. This one's just a waste of my time. Give the point to Indominus. Alright, this is probably our most interesting one yet. So, at least we can talk about something, I guess. I feel like the D-Rex would be really hard to pierce or penetrate, because he has some incredibly, like, strong skin. It'll be really hard to rip off. Now, according to Google, D-Rex has superhuman durability, which fair enough to be honest. Like, how else would I describe it? His screen time is low. I'm mostly just basing his durability off, like, how he looks in general. His size and strength, he'll be really hard to, like, topple over. And also, credit to GS Battles for this info, but there was also evidence that D-Rex may have been hit by the helicopter blade when he grabbed the helicopter, as when he is holding the helicopter blade is not visible. And yeah, fair enough, that must have hurt a little bit, or hit his eye if he got really unlucky. But it is not something that is shown on screen, so I'm not really going to say if you can't really tell whether the D-Rex had a roaring pain after the helicopter blade hit him. Like, you don't know, because we didn't see it, but I'm assuming he handled it with, like, little pain, and there's also no blood marks. So the D-Rex definitely has better skin durability than Indominus. Durability in general, though? No. Even Google themselves confirmed that they thought that the D-Rex could surpass the Giganotosaurus and Indominus in durability. But hey, I'm happy to say I honestly disagree. Now, don't get me wrong, I know I said this would be a closer one, but trust me, it was. This is definitely the best category the D-Rex has, I think. But I still think Indominus takes it just by a little bit, and I'll explain why. Although I think any dinosaur could survive this, Indominus didn't really care about it. I feel like dinosaurs would get hurt if a missile hit them that hard. But the Indominus simply just fell over from it and then got back up. She didn't care at all. Also, same can be said for the Ankylosaurus tail whip. When the Ankylosaurus hits Indominus with his tail, or her tail, I don't know. I don't know if the Ankylosaurus was male or female. But either way, the Ankylosaurus hit the Indominus right in the head, and she did not care. She kept going, and her head was also, like, still completely movable. It wasn't, like, struggling to move about because of how much it hurt. The Indominus did not care. And although I feel like it hurt her a bit more, she also took the bites from the T-Rex quite well. It did make her bleed, but she was still moving perfectly fine. I will admit though, when Blue kind of like joined in the battle, Indominus kind of crashed out a bit. So yeah. Now back to the bit where she runs through a glass window. Now, I chose to use this for the strength category, but I thought this could be used for durability as well, because I'd say it's a mix of both. Because not only it's strong to just easily run through that, but it's also quite durable, because glass can damage you quite easily. But nah, she seemed perfectly fine. Like, her head didn't seem damaged, she just walked through and like it was nothing. Like, she literally did not care at all. So, unfortunately for some of you, for durability, that has to go to the Indominus as well. Though, at least Drex had a slightly better round this round. Indominus has quite a lot of advantages, but she does have a few disadvantages, so we'll get to that. Advantages, all the strength and durability stuff I mentioned. I'd also like to mention her sneaky attacks. Like, first off, she's very good when it comes to like dodging attacks and like countering attacks. But her agility is so insane, and the Drex is so slow that I don't think he'd be able to land an amazing hit on Indom. Indom would dodge it quite easily. Also, Indom can camouflage, and she's very like hostile and aggressive. So like Indominus could probably attack Drex from multiple corners, and the Drex could potentially bleed out. Also, because the Indominus has sharper claws. So her disadvantages, well, she's smaller. Like, I honestly thought at first, I'm going to be truthful here, I honestly thought the size was really close at first, because I was like, well, Drex's size isn't accurate. But I've came to the conclusion that I think the Drex is bigger, and by quite a bit as well. Also, it'll take her quite a bit of time to bleed the Drex out, I think. And also, she would struggle avoiding the Drex's big arms. Also, I feel like Drex has some pretty decent attack potency, so that would be a bit of a problem, and I'm pretty sure Drex has just about more experience. Although I couldn't count this as to the Drex's advantage if we were to see it, which is why I'm kind of sad Drex didn't get any fights, because I think he has had a lot off camera. Off camera, Drex has probably fought Spinosaurs and T-Rexes a lot, but because that was off screen, it does not count. So, but if it was on screen, he'd probably get better advantages. But not only Drex, I'm pretty sure, is older than Indominus, but the Drex has probably went through more fights, and also probably has more hunting experience, because, you know, Indominus had an entire park, and the Drex lived on an isolated island, so that's quite a big difference there. Though one of the Indominus's biggest advantages that I really wish people realised more, everything she did on the island when she escaped the cage was done in less than a day. That is a big highlight in my opinion. And I've heard people saying that Drex is the new strongest dinosaur in the franchise. I know Mosasaur is not a dinosaur, but people say that Drex is the strongest dinosaur / hybrid / mutant, whatever, in the franchise yet. But honestly, I can't agree with that. I think Indominus remains still the top dinosaur on the chains of food. Anyways, we'll get to the Drex now. Drex has a big size advantage, and also, like, he's a chill guy. I don't know what to say. I kind of explained all of his advantages in the Indominus disadvantage section, so I realized I don't really have to explain the Drex's. Okay, but yeah, Indominus wins mid-diff, to be honest. I don't even do that much battle analysis videos, but man, I'm already starting to get annoyance out of math, so I don't know, man. Anyway, I guess that's the video. If there is any inaccurate information, I am sorry. I researched most of the information, and I think most of this is about accurate. Even if some of the math sums aren't extremely accurate, I feel like regardless, all the stuff we saw Indominus do alone still is way better than anything the Drex did. Even without the maths, I feel like I could still perfectly describe how the Indominus is still, like, better in terms of, like, all the strengths and stuff. Well, yeah, I guess that's all I really have to say. If you disagree, I respect your opinion. I really hope you can respect mine too. I absolutely love you all. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of my videos, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!